This is what preachers don't preach while they are cursing government. For he is God's servant for your good. What is government?
God's servant.
Did you hear that President Buhari is God's servant?
Yes,
Can you curse a man of God? Have men of God cursed Buhari?
yes, sir.
And somewhere in your mind, you think God is on your side. You're finished. As far as I'm concerned, on Judgment Day, you're finished. Because the 2 million people you misled, you give account. Come here, stand here. He says, don't curse God or the king. It's in the same verse. Do you curse God? If you curse God, is what? Blasphemy. Exodus 22 verse 28. Read with me. You must not blaspheme God or curse the ruler of your people. One more time. You must not blaspheme God or curse the ruler of your people. In other words, Paul did not curse the Roman emperors. You guys don't even understand. Many people, you don't know any history. Do you understand when Paul was writing this? Have you read Romans 8? They were killing Christians. The people he was talking about were killing Christians. Listen. When they say killing Christians, it's not headsmen attack people in the north. Buhari sent them. No. That one, the Buhari of that time, the emperor. Have you heard of Nero before? Nero is believed to have set a part of the city on fire because he wanted to build something new. So he had people set it on fire. Then he told everybody, it's the Christians. And Christians meant born again Christians. Not these things you call Christians. What is a Christian? The people that would die for Jesus. Those people, they blamed it on Christians. And people started killing Christians up and down. They spread rumors. They said when Christians have communion service, the Lord's Supper, that they are drinking the blood of little children. That they kill babies and drink their blood. They said all sorts of evil things about Christians. Deliberately. His name was Nero, and he was evil. Those were the kinds of rulers they had when this thing was written. Because I've met very few people, preachers, heard of, that even understand what government is. Don't ask me about government. I don't like talking about government. It is so frustrating to my soul that I focus on being in church and talking to God's holy people. This is where I have joy and peace. I leave the rest alone. Let them do what they like. All I beg God is, Father, remember in the day you judge, remember those who have feared you, who, while others are cursing government, they are breaking the laws of the land. Me, I don't curse government, but I don't break the laws of the land. I keep the laws. I don't throw trash even on the street. Even when the government officials don't enforce it, I obey it. Because God says I should. My hands, I try and keep it perfectly clean in God's eyes and in government's eyes. And I don't curse the government. Then you see people who are breaking the law. Then they curse the government. Criminals that should be in jail. Let me warn you, how I used to warn you years ago. Everything President Buhari was to do, and he didn't do. Someone will come and do it. Now let me tell you why political matters, typically. Now I know some people preach about it very directly. They are very bold. Even if they are wrong, they are bold about it. But many preachers also don't like talking about it. Because there are things in human beings that are very strong. At the top of the list of things that move human beings very strongly to the point of being almost wild. One is religion. You tell a Muslim, Allah is false. He can go mad or stab you. It's a spiritual thing. You tell an unbeliever, but an active sinner Roman Catholic, they know they are sinning. They know they live in sin. They swim in sin. I don't mean all Catholics. I mean the person you're talking to in this my story. But you say the Catholic Church is not. Even if he's standing up and putting on his shorts, see the anger. That is, he has just finished committing fornication. See the offense. Because it's demonic. It's not of God. That defense is not of his church or his religion. It's the spirits that is associated with religiosity. Are you hearing me? That's why what I'm saying, is it true or is it false? Why do people that can be so godless react so violently and hold on to their religion so hard? Is it because they love God? It's a demon. It's demons. But another spirit that is super strong is the yeast of Herod. It's the spirits associated with politics. It makes people go bonkers. They become like unthinking creatures. Sometimes you say, okay, can we discuss it rationally, like calmly, like carry pen, paper, let's look at it. This is the fact. One, then you see them start shouting, don't tell me anything. Is that how you react when you're discussing other things? It's that spirit, the yeast of Herod. It's been mixed into their belief system. It's running through their whole system. So once you touch it, there's a reaction. Literally, if you read that newsletter, you saw the brother that said he was sitting around there, and he said he will come and I'll be preaching in one direction. When he comes, I'll start talking about not abusing government. This is 2017, because he was in a church where they are bashing government day and night and doing all sorts of things. I didn't know any of that. Now he said one day here in this building, we had moved here, he was sitting behind there and he started shaking. That it happened again. I started talking about government and it happened, which I rarely do. It happened and he was shaking, sweating. Then he saw a demon come out of him. You see that picture on top? You saw it? See that picture? He said he saw it come out of him, looking like that, wearing a sword of that thing you're seeing on his neck, with a mace that they used to decide. And the thing came out of him and was very angry, like that, as though he was coming towards me to attack me. He jumped into the toilet and like vomited. As he did that, the color of the vomitus was green and white. Can you make that happen? He wasn't sick, nothing was wrong with him. But he said from that day, when you go read it, you see, as though something changed completely. So when I tell you it's demonic, I wasn't joking. People have the demon of hatred for their nation. The Bible said to the children of Israel when they were cast into Babylon, pray for the peace of the city you are in. Was that city their friend or their enemy? They destroyed their land and took them into captivity. And God said, as you're there, pray for the peace of that land. For in its peace is your peace. You would think these things are not in the Bible. And Pastor Ita came up with his theory. Why would he tell you to bless people that took them captive? Because God said, I am the one that caused you to be carried away captive. He is the one that put them in captivity. Let me advise you, especially you're here and you're listening to me. Don't be speaking against your country or cursing it. Why? Because some of us are blessing it. And God doesn't like people that curse the things he blesses. Do you remember Balaam? Don't curse something God is trying to bless. Have you heard me? And the Bible clearly says you shouldn't curse the ruler of your people. Many people back then in Jonathan's time, they will say he's clueless. You don't talk like that about the leader of your people. It doesn't matter whatever you think is annoying you. You don't abuse them. You can say, look at what they did here. I don't like it too. I don't think this is fair. But you don't curse them. You don't call the leader of your people clueless. In other words, he's a fool. No, whatever you think, you don't say. Your mouth does not form the sentence and vomit it. I know in the way you people normally think, you say, oh, okay, are you for this side and for this? I don't know why you're for anything. I'm not for anything. I'm for God. And God says you don't curse the leader of your people. I tell our people not to even speak disrespectfully to their hall rep in the hostel. So in case you're here sitting and saying, hey, this man supports Buhari, you don't say you're a child. So I'm supporting your hall rep too, whom I don't know. I don't permit people to speak against any authority. I've been like that for years. Don't. Before Buhari was president, I don't support you cursing or speaking against authority. It has nothing to do with Buhari. It has to do with government. When you do it, punishment comes.